Mr. Coovadia, thank you very much for your time. So describe the relationship between the Public Protector and the FIC.
Well, there is no formal relationship between the Public Protector and the FIC. I have absolutely no knowledge of this particular issue, but the FIC is a body that actually oversees what are called accountable institutions, including banks, and to ensure that money laundering and terrorism financing does not go through our financial sector. Accountable institutions have a risk plan, and there's a risk plan for each accountable institution depending on its operating model. And it's a risk-based system, and where an accountable institution picks up any unusual activity going through any account, they are bound to report that to the Financial Intelligence Center. And there's confidentiality between the accountable institution and the Financial Intelligence Center. So that's the role of the FIC office.
While I appreciate that you may not have knowledge of the relationship between the Public Protector and the FIC, I appreciate that. The Public Protector's Office stating at the time that they have a memorandum of understanding. But let's push along on this front then. Once the institution that has requested information from the FIC receives that information, are they allowed to use it, or perhaps allow for it to be disseminated in any shape or form?
Well, in the relationships we have with the FIC, okay, so a bank as an accountable institution actually provides the FIC with information, not the other way around, okay. It provides the FIC with information if it picks up unusual activity going through any account. The Financial Intelligence Center Act also says that there are certain categories of accounts. So if you're a politically connected person, whether you're a business person or a politician, if you are in a position where you could influence people, the bank in this case, because I represent banks, the banks have the onus to actually have significant oversight on that account to ensure that there's no unusual activity going through that account. If there is, the bank reports that to the FIC. The FIC uses that information to ensure that there is no money laundering happening. If the FIC is of the view that the information it has should be investigated, the FIC institutes that investigation, okay? And so once a bank passes on the information to the FIC is the body that institutes investigations, and then normal bodies are used to investigate the particular account.
It's very interesting what you're saying, and it's striking primarily because you're saying, based on what you have seen, it's the banks who provide information to the FIC and not the other way around. In this instance, it's the FIC that has admitted to giving information to the Public Protector's Office. Have you ever seen this happen before?
Well, no, not. We haven't experienced that before, but again, I don't know this particular case. The FIC, if there's a legal process on and there's a court order out telling the FIC to pass on certain information, the FIC will be bound to do that. I don't know the case, the dynamics in this particular case.
So the banks, from what you know, the banks have never at any stage requested information from the FIC. It's the FIC that they give information to.
Yeah. The FIC is there to actually get information from the banks, or banks provide information to the FIC if they see unusual activity going through accounts, and that's the role of the FIC. If whatever happened in this case, I have absolutely no knowledge.
Very, very interesting indeed. Thank you, sir, for making that clear for us. Cas Coovadia, he is from the Banking Association of South Africa.